Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be taking the Miata over to the dyno to get a baseline reading and see how much horsepower the NB Miata is making in its stock form. So last week Sunday, I was invited by a couple of my friends who are part of the MR2 Hawaii club and to join them on a dyno session that they were having last week. And so I joined them with the Miata mainly because I was interested in seeing how much horsepower the Miata makes in its current state. The Miata is currently stock, right, as I've highlighted before. No upgrades or whatsoever or anything has been done to the engine wise other than basic maintenance from the previous owner. So it's really stock, and it really gives me a good foundation of seeing how much horsepower the car currently makes in its stock form. So the tuner that we were going to was recommended by one of my friends who is part of the MR2 club. He's known on Instagram by GarageMunky. So this is his Instagram handle, GarageMunky. The guy that actually does the tunes his name is Sean. Was highly recommended by my other friend Johnny, who runs an MR2 and has his MR2 tuned by Sean. Having a knowledgeable guy who knows how to tune cars is very important. And when I got to meet Sean, when I showed up, he's a very, very kind and helpful and very knowledgeable guy. He talked about how he enjoyed working on Miatas and driving them, and he really applauds Mazda and the direction that they went with how they designed and how the Mazda drives and feels. And he was just really excited to have another Miata in his shop to basically try and tune and everything. So yeah, I was really excited, and it's really nice to hear someone who enjoys working on Mazdas and on Miata specifically. And he's also very knowledgeable in a lot of tuning. He talked a lot about like Mega Squirt and everything, which is a pretty common ECU that a lot of turbo Miata people run. So to have someone as knowledgeable as him talk about the different ECUs out there and specifically for the Miatas, it gives me a lot of confidence knowing that if I do decide to go maybe a turbo route or another forced induction or any kind of ITBs or something with the Miata, I could safely take it to him and he could safely tune it to where it's actually reliable and safe and easy to run. So yeah, it's really, really good, and I was very excited to have the car dynoed. So before we go and show some of the footage that I recorded on the Miata and the MR2s, you might be wondering why I'm recording here in my office. Mainly because I didn't film anything leading up to the dyno event and afterwards. Just really wanted to be there and just be with my friends and just have a good time. And I didn't really want to distract from just a group hangout and just being with friends and being in the moment. So yeah, I don't really have any footage. It's just a lot of us just talking story and everything. So yeah, but without further ado, we'll go ahead and show some of the videos of the Miata.
So horsepower's on the right, torque's on the left.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna let it cool, then we'll make one more run.
Okay.
And then after that I'll shut it down and let it cool. And then we'll make the final run.
Final road. Okay. Well, where are we at right now?
You see AFR wise, like it kind of richened everything up after the first run.
Okay.
Just for safety, usually ECUs do that. Like they'll be like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? And then it'll richen it up. Yeah, it's healthy.
116, 115.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first run was like 116.
Okay.
The second one was like 111.
Oh, okay.
111 torque.
Oh, okay.
That's why these things feel so good, because like it's got max torque. Like,
Yeah, throughout. Cool. Okay. So now that we've seen all the runs from both the Miata and the MR2, here's a dyno graph. I don't know too much about dyno graphs. For those who do know a lot more, feel free to extrapolate any other additional information from this graph, or these graphs I should say, and be sure to leave it down in the comments below. But I guess the main thing is, so we did a total of 4 runs. As you can see here on the graph, there's 4 runs, the pink, blue, red, and green. And the green one was the final run, as you can see down here in the bottom. I believe the yellow was the initial setup, just like a setup run, just to try and get everything dialed in and ready to go. So my, I guess, setup run, I made 116 horsepower. And so once we did that, we did the 4 runs. And so I believe Sean ran it in 3rd or 4th gear. Don't remember exactly. I guess you can kind of see with the ratio here. I don't remember though, but basically he did 4 pulls, and you know, the curves were pretty consistent, as you can kind of see, right, both on the horsepower and the torque curves, pretty consistent with each other. And he did comment on how healthy the engine was, and you know, it's pretty good for the most part, and it's stock form, and I guess it's ready, in his words, to actually start adding horsepower to it. So that's a good sign, knowing that the engine is pretty good. But on the last run, so just quickly looking at it, on the last run I did 117.3 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, and it was about 111.7 foot-pounds of torque at 4,700 RPM. So yeah, I'm not too sure what else to take out of this, but yeah. So basically, yeah, 117 horsepower to the wheels, right? I believe the Miatas are rated at 43 horsepower out of the engine, and then calculating torque loss and engine loss through the drivetrain and axles and everything, I think seems about right, according to my other friends who've been on dynos before. So yeah, so pretty good to know that the engine's healthy and the Miata is pretty healthy, and it's pretty much ready to start adding horsepower. But as far as like what route I want to go with adding horsepower, I'm not exactly sure yet, but we'll leave that up to a later point when I get to it. So as you guys saw also in the video, this was a different type of dyno that I was using. It's called a dyno pack, where the dyno attaches to the hubs of the vehicle, versus a traditional dyno that I've been on before, with the Yaris, where there's a big drum and you basically roll the car onto the drum, and then you have the tires touching the drum and it spins the drum, and the drum basically measures the horsepower and the torque and everything from the vehicle. This dyno pack I've never seen, or I've seen them before, but I've never been on one before, and it was just interesting to see how this one's set up and how it runs and calculates everything. So really interesting and really cool. But I believe if I want to, you know, start tuning it and seeing how much horsepower I keep adding on and increasing, I think I'll have to stay consistent with the same type of dynos I use. I know there's variations in the type of dynos, like this hub dyno from the dyno pack, or the traditional dyno with the drums. So I think I just have to be consistent whenever I do decide to start getting, you know, good consistent readings as I start increasing the horsepower of the car. So, but yeah, it was just interesting to see how the dyno pack works, and it was just cool and relatively easy to set up actually. Although it does require a little bit more work, mainly because you have to take off the wheels and mount the adapters that go into the dyno machines itself on each side of the car. But for the most part, it was relatively simple to set up, and it was very interesting to watch and see. So, but that's pretty much it for this video, guys. It's a relatively short video, nothing much, just trying to get baseline readings of the Miata. But yeah, if you guys have any comments or suggestions, feel free to drop them below. I'll try to answer them as much as I can. And big shout out to Johnny, Jesse, and Mike, and the whole MR2 crew for inviting me and having me join them for this dyno session. Really, really awesome event and really cool to also see their MR2s kind of on the dyno and get to hear them and see them in action and also see how much horsepower they're making. So yeah, really, really, really cool, and thank you to those guys for having me. Also, big thank you to Sean from GarageMunky for working on the car and providing a lot of insight and tips and knowledge about Miatas and tuning and everything. And really looking forward to once I do decide to add horsepower to it. I'm looking forward to taking it back and having him possibly tune it and work on it to have it be reliable and make consistent and good horsepower. So, yeah. But, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Shoots.